Good morning, everyone. Hello. This is David Shivadas here from Shivadas Ambient. I thought I would make a new video. I haven't made a video like this in probably a couple of years, talking about how I got into ambient music, my musical history, why I play ambient music today, and so forth. And welcome to my new space. This is my new practice space. My old video, I was practicing in my office, and that was my practice space, but I did need more room. So today I'm in my basement. I've just recently built out this room in my basement to be a practice space for me to play ambient music. Anyway, about my history. So I've been playing music playing guitar rather, for about 48 years now. Back from 1977 is when I first started to play guitar. And I played guitar in bands I think I was playing guitar when had been playing guitar for about 6 months. And I got into my first band, basically a garage band, but from there I got into a real band with a drummer and a lead guitar player and a singer and a bass player, all very good musicians. I was very fortunate to play rhythm guitar with them for several years, for about 6 or 7 years. We played mostly classic rock music, things like that. And when the band broke up finally, I continued to play guitar, but back in the 90s, I had 2 small children, and I just didn't have time to play guitar anymore. I'd play a little bit, but I really stopped playing for a solid couple of years, actually. It wasn't until about the year maybe 2000 and 2001 that I started to play guitar again. And I did that primarily because I was already practicing yoga for about 5 years. I believe I started practicing yoga about 1995. So I was practicing yoga, and a friend of mine who eventually became my wife, Abby Durgadevi, got me interested in mantra and chanting from the yoga traditions. And so I started playing guitar along with the mantras that we were chanting and singing, and pretty soon we were doing kirtan music, call and response, yoga kirtan music. However, in 2016, at the beginning of 2016, I had a stroke on my right side, affected my right side, and I found that even though everything functioned properly, I didn't have as much rhythmic control on the right side of my body, which affected my strumming. So I went from being a pretty decent guitar player with good rhythm, and I went from that to struggling to play guitar. And I still played, however, but it wasn't enjoyable, and I couldn't strum well anymore. I couldn't stay in rhythm. I couldn't sing and strum at the same time. So it was very difficult for me. It was a difficult few years. We continued to do a little bit of kirtan, but it was very difficult for me to do. Back in 2018, I came across a YouTube channel from a man named Bill Wenzel, and Bill had a YouTube channel on ambient guitar music and ambient pedals and ambient effects and so forth. So I started getting interested in ambient music because it was much less rhythmic. It was more like flowing music, just like soundscapes. And so I didn't have to worry about playing rhythm too much, and I could just concentrate on playing more single notes or picking chords and so forth to get that ambient texture. So I did that for a couple of years, and I played at many yoga classes. I played for played ambient music at a lot of yoga classes, and I found it very enjoyable. In 2020, when COVID came around, I had much more time to dedicate to experimenting with different guitar sounds and different equipment to make different sounds through my guitar. I started experimenting with playing synthesizer, and I really got interested in it a lot, and I've been doing that ever since. Right now it's January 2024. Back in October of 2023, I started to rebuild my 2 pedal boards that I use, which are right here. I'll do another video about my pedal boards, but this is my main guitar pedal board right here. These are all the effects that I use, and the pedal board over here is my mixer and a couple of loopers and a vocal processor and my guitar tuner. And then here I normally have my MacBook Pro that I run my synth app from. I have a small MO Audio MIDI keyboard device that I can play synth sounds and play different chord formations, and I can loop those, and then I can play guitar over the top of it. I can create a lot of different layers with my loopers and so forth. So that's how I got interested in ambient music, and that's primarily what I do today. It's much easier for me to play, and it's much more satisfying. You know, one of my teachers, for any of you that might be guitar players that have gone through strokes and now have difficulty playing, my guitar teacher said, just play what's comfortable for you. And he said, don't play anything that your mind is going to start to become frustrated about. So I've stopped doing that, and I primarily play ambient guitar today. Now, I still do practice rhythm guitar and strumming, but it's slow. It's very slow. It's slow to get the fine motor skills back, and I believe a lot of it has to do with the neural pathways from my brain to the different muscles in my body. So but I still try to play some rhythm. I try to stay up on it as much as possible. Try to practice a little bit every day, but this is my main thing now, and I really love playing ambient music primarily because it kind of helps to induce an altered state of consciousness, really is what it's doing. Just like if you've ever been to a yoga class where they do gongs and singing bowls, it's similar to that type of effect, but I believe that playing ambient music on guitar and with keyboards, I can get a bigger sonic spectrum, and I can create more subtle soundscapes, so, and a wider spectrum of soundscapes. So I really love it. Sometimes I just come down here and I play and just play for my own meditation. So when I play ambient guitar, once in a while I'll be offered an opportunity to play for a yoga class someplace. It's primarily for slow yoga classes, more meditative yoga classes, like restorative and relaxing yoga classes, hatha yoga. My approach is, even though I have a lot of sounds that I'm familiar with on my guitar through my effects loops and my keyboards and so forth, I try to go into every yoga class and every yoga space, and I really try not to have anything in mind of what I'm going to play. I don't have like a set list or anything like that. I basically just kind of go into the room, into the yoga studio. I get kind of a vibe for the sound of the room, the ambient texture of the room, the ambient sound of the room. Every room has its own ambient audible quality. And then I also try to get a vibe from the people that come in and from the teacher that's going to teach the class. And then I just start to play, and I play depending on what the teacher's teaching what her flow of yoga postures is. And I also do not ask the teacher what their flow is. I don't expect the teacher to do anything a certain way. I just kind of go with the flow of what they're doing. And I think that is the best way because it creates a spontaneous effect. And I like that. So every yoga class that I do, and I record every yoga class that I play at, and every yoga class is different. The sounds are different. What I play is different. Sometimes I do put a layer of mantras or something like that in the background or over the top of the music that I'm playing at appropriate moments. And every class is different, and it makes for a very unique kind of a one-off experience. So if you're ever in one of my classes, it will never be the same twice. I do use the same sounds a lot of times, but I play them in different ways and different patterns. So they're unique experiences, and I like that. I like the spontaneity of it. So that's a little bit about what I'm doing with ambient music, why I came to play ambient music. I primarily have Bill Wenzel to thank for it. He's an awesome man. He's a man of faith, of religion, and his YouTube channel, if you ever want to check it out, if you're not familiar with it, is called Chords of Orion. So you can check him out. He's a wonderful guy. He does a lot of videos on reviewing different gear and so forth, but he also has a lot of videos of him just playing ambient music. He's got instructional videos, and he also has videos with long plays of him playing ambient music. And you can also find him on iTunes. I think he's also on Spotify. You can download his music there. My music is a little bit different than what Bill does, but he's inspired me so much. A lot of his reviews, I've ended up taking his advice, and I now utilize a lot of pedals that he's reviewed and so forth. Anyway, thank you for joining. I hope to make many more videos here in my new practice space. So I hope you enjoy the space. It's a really nice, warm space. I'll have more videos about my ambient music techniques. I'm not a great guitar player by any means, but I am an average guitar player. So I'll have videos on my technique. I'll have videos about my effects. I'll have videos about my guitars, which are, I think, just off camera here. I have a PRS custom guitar is my main guitar, and then I also have a Gibson SG, which is tuned in a completely unique tuning, and I keep it that way. It's set up for that unique tuning. So I use both of those guitars. They both have different, sonic textures and so forth. So I'll do more reviews about how I play music, and I'll also have some videos about, videos about me playing ambient music, playing some music here in my space. You'll see my method, how I sit down and just start creating some sonic textures, and I just start playing. And things that I like, I generally will play them for a while, and then I'll write down the, kind of what I've played. I'll transcribe it and generally into tablature, and this way, at some point in the future, maybe I'll record it in my music studio, which is upstairs. I use Pro Tools. I've got a music studio. I've got some really good mics and so forth up there. Anyway, I hope this was interesting for you. I hope you continue to join me here on Shiva Das Ambient, and have an awesome day. Have a blessed day. Namaste.